My sister Afiya is going to come back.
For over 2 decades, the name of Dr. Afiya Siddiqi has echoed through courtrooms, protests, and headlines.
It's over 20 years. You take away 20 years of someone's life and you say there'll be justice. There is no justice for us. This is about picking up the pieces and moving on. This is about the dignity and honor of a woman, of a daughter, of a nation, bringing Afiya back. And Afiya herself, she is just a mere shell of what she was.
In 2003, Siddiqi vanished from Pakistan's Karachi with her 3 children. 5 years later, she resurfaced at the US's Bagram Air Force Base in Afghanistan as a ghost detainee. Her family says she was initially held by Pakistani authorities, who at the time denied it. In 2010, she was convicted of trying to kill U.S. soldiers and sentenced to 86 years in prison. She was also linked to suspected terrorists and accused of being involved in suspicious activities before September 11, 2001.
We have so many witnesses to the kidnapping, witnesses of her being in Bagram, the whole conspiracy of letting her go when, Afiya became this famous person. Our lawyer has testimonies from former intelligence agencies and from FBI and CIA agents as well, who were at that time there. So she has like the perfect alibi.
Siddiqi's lawyer, Clive Stafford Smith, has been retracing her steps. In the past year and a half, he uncovered new evidence, which had not been accessible because of Afghanistan's chaotic situation post 9/11.
I got something just yesterday, which is compelling evidence of this. One of the things, they'd forced her to copy stuff out to make her look like a terrorist when she was being tortured in Bagram and elsewhere. And one of the things that they said she wrote out, turns out was copied word for word from this magazine. And this is Discover. And this magazine was only published in America and was only published in a hard copy and could only have come from the people who were torturing her in Bagram, because she couldn't possibly have got her hands on it.
The U.S. denies detaining Siddiqi at Bagram before her 2008 arrest in Afghanistan, claiming Afghan forces had caught her with materials linked to terrorism. Despite the emergence of new evidence, they've been sticking to their story.
We have visited the Bagram prison where I was held, where I used to hear the sounds of a woman screaming, and we have interviewed a large number of prisoners, former prisoners, Afghans mostly, who were held and witnessed and are eyewitnesses to Afiya being present. So we walked into those rooms, into those cells, into the police stations, into all of the places where Afiya was, and have been gathering information to present to the US court.
Western media were so captivated by her story at the time that some had dubbed her Lady Al-Qaeda.
She's known as Lady Al-Qaeda.
This is Dr. Afiya Siddiqi, also called Lady Al-Qaeda.
She has been nicknamed the Mata Hari of Al-Qaeda.
After a trial, she spent over 21 years in U.S. custody. The new evidence, which is yet to be presented to a U.S. court, has brought a glimmer of hope for her release.
We have established, Clive has established, that she's been tortured many times, she's been physically violated, even before she went to America, and when she was in America, it didn't stop. The violations didn't stop, the physical and sexual abuse didn't stop.
In November 2024, Siddiqi will begin her 260th month in U.S. custody. Pakistan is asking the Biden administration to release her on humanitarian grounds, and Afghanistan's Taliban administration continues to help her defense team access and gather crucial evidence to prove her innocence. These major steps have been keeping hope alive for Siddiqi and her family.
Being a mother, separating your children, taking away your children from you, I don't think there is any worse human coercion. This is the worst ever torture that can be for a mother.